one of the key parts of the hobby, as far as getting your figures ready for me, is the prep. Every figure will have its little mould lines or little sprues coming off it. It's just a necessary evil of the process. You know, we try very hard to keep our mould lines to a minimum. It's not always an exact art though. So sometimes you'll always, you know, you'll often see a slight mould line on figures. This is one of the new Pict Spearmen, and I'm going to show you what I do to quickly clean up a figure ready for painting, undercoating and painting. So you can see this figure here, he's got a slight mould line down there, down the arm, and it basically goes around the whole figure where the two moulds joined, and it can be faint in some parts and then it can be very obvious in other parts. So on the hair it often gets lost because obviously it's a very uneven surface and you don't really see it that much, but certainly on the arms like there you can see it. It's although it's only slight, once you paint it, it will stand out a lot more. So it's often a good idea to make sure you really get rid of these things before you start slapping paint on your figures. Otherwise it will stand out and kind of ruin the effect of the figure. I think so, you know, in my opinion. I know some people aren't as fussy about it, but this is just me. So all I simply do when prepping these figures is, there's two ways of doing it. You can use either a scalpel or you can use something like a small jeweler's file like these. The jeweler's files are good if you're, you know, doing lots of flat surfaces. They're very good. So that there's an ever so slight one there. Probably just rub over it very gently, and I'm doing it very, very gently. It soon gets rid of it. So that's pretty much gone now. And you can do it on things like the legs and stuff. The only problem with this is it can be not too accurate when it comes to little tight spots. So like in there, I can just about get in that little bend in the foot there and on the leg. But when it comes to getting in there, it's going to be a bit trickier, and I'll use my scalpel for there. Same with there. I'd rather use a scalpel. Now, using a scalpel rather than cutting with it like that, like the instinctively, you know, would do with a blade, what you're doing really is just rubbing it down. So all I'm doing is pressing the flat of the blade on there and just scraping down ever so slightly. And what you find is that soon just gets rid of that mould line. It just evens out the metal till it's virtually not there anymore. So, or certainly diminished enough that it won't show up once there's a coat of paint on it, or once there's an undercoat. And like I say, in there it's often easier to get a scalpel in tight spots like that than it is a file, trying to rub it with a file. So I'll just scrape it down like that, and that gets rid of anything that's showing. In little gaps like in the legs there, sometimes it's you know, so slight it's not even worth bothering on bits like that you can't see on the figure. But if you want to get your scalpel in there, it's easier to do that. Same there, that little crevice, and on the arm there's a little bit of mould line there. And it soon comes off. It doesn't take very much to get rid of them. On the face you've got to be careful. Figures like this that have got the mould line that will come down the face because of the positioning of the figure, you've got to be kind of careful. Now this one seems pretty good. The mould line goes up from there to the hair there and then runs along the hair, so you don't really see it, thankfully. Tends to stand out on helmets a lot because it's a nice smooth surface, but this one hasn't got a helmet, so it's all gone, thankfully. So there you go. I mean, it takes seconds to clean up, but to be honest with you, it's well worth doing the job properly, because that way when you paint your figure you're not going to then end up with a great big, you know, line along it that's going to stand out, obviously. So yeah, that's how quick it is to just prep one of the figures. doesn't take long at all.
Hear ye, hear ye. Footsore Miniatures, 28mm historical miniatures. Footsore takes pride in the highest quality metal models, available in the UK, US and worldwide. Footsore believes in delivering high quality products. Find out more at footsoreminiatures.co.uk.